Hello friends, quick little intro here. I just wanted to say that this video features a very special helper, my son Casey, and he is excited to take part in this video with Jazza's Jazzy art box because he was very excited that we were getting it and he really wanted to give the art supplies a try. So he has also made a piece for this drawing, so I hope you enjoy that part of this video. It'll be a long one, so feel free to draw along and just listen.
Hello friends!
Today we have a very special video for you. We finally got the Jazzy art box. We're excited, huh? So if you don't know what this is, Draw with Jazza is one of the most well-known art YouTubers on YouTube, and he put out this box with smart art, and we are excited to see what's inside because along with all of the great art supplies, there also could be some special things. That's not to say that we will get the special things, but we could. You never know, right?
Right.
So let's get into it. I can't wait. Can you?
Nope.
All right. Are you ready?
Ready.
Do you want to open it?
Sure.
Ah, it's Jazzy's face. I don't think we're going to cut up the box just yet.
That
look.
Ready.
Wait, let's read this. Thank you for getting Jazza's Jazzy art box. This box, which I put together with my friends from Smart Art, is jam-packed full of my favorite art materials.
I think it's a bookmark.
Ooh, I think you might be right. Look how cool that is.
Wow. Show the camera.
And our print. And it looks like this is a signed in print one, so we didn't get one of the ones that were specially signed. Look at all this stuff.
Wow.
You want to take a look at it? What's that?
We have this graphics fineliner, Tombow ABT brush tip, and fine tip water base. We also have this mechanical pencil or pen.
I think it's a pencil.
We have another pencil. This is written in
a different language.
But it says Tombow.
Tombow. I think this is a brush pen.
Have some colored pencils. We have a bunch of Smart Art pens by Spectrum Noir.
Spectrum Noir markers. That's Jazza's special picked out colors that he likes the best.
Express-It blending card, acid-free and retrieval.
Oh, this was a later edition.
Ooh, Faber-Castell dust-free eraser.
Neato.
Looks like we have a white gel pen, maybe?
Yes, that's correct.
White pigment ink. I also got some on my finger.
Good job.
We have a pencil case.
Oh, that'll be nice.
Looks like we have some black... Oh, no, it's a notebook.
A sketchbook.
Why did I think it was black paper?
Cool.
And that's it for the Jazza art box.
And that's it. All right. So I guess our first order of business is to actually create something with these things.
I'm going to be drawing some sketch clips to see what I'm going to be doing. And right now I have this Prismacolor Color Erase blue. I can't use the mechanical pencil because I would just break all the lead. So let's get started. So right now I'm drawing land for the dog I'm making. I'm not very good at drawing dogs, so I want to practice. Maybe we're gonna go with this. I'm not sure. And then we could go with this barn. So The plot of this one is there's this guy getting water for the animals in the barn. And I think I'm going to go with this one. So I'm going to make a couple more sketches of this, and then we'll be good. I'm trying to add a little bit more detail to the person. And I think it looks pretty good. I just messed up. So now we're drawing the water buckets. And we're drawing the arms to support the water buckets and the yoke. And now onto the head. And that's our final sketch, I think. And we can move on now. For the actual piece, I'm going to be drawing on this Express It blending card. And let's open it. Looks like there's about 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, but today I'm only going to be using one. So let's just put those off to the side. I'm going to get my sketchbook with the drawing out so I can have an idea of what I'm going to be making. I'm drawing really lightly so I can line it and erase it very good. I'm probably going to have to erase this. That made it look way better than in the sketch, but I also like this here too. Okay, looking at the sketch, I think we could maybe get a sun in there. And maybe some clouds. Right now I'm making his sandals or shoes with the laces. And now we're making the yoke. I'm trying to make the water buckets look more realistic. And then we have to draw the arms to support the yoke. I feel like I'm speaking French when I say that. And now we're gonna go on to coloring with these. Wait, no, we have to line it first. So I think I'm gonna use this one. It's not the brush. Good. And then after this, I'm going to go in with some Spectrum Noir markers. I kind of want to keep the shoelaces the way they are with the blue colored pencil, and I think I'm going to do that. I probably should draw some hands before I started lining. I think it looks good so far. I just drew that line a little too long. I actually think I should use colored pencils so I can get details in. I accidentally just colored myself. So now what I'm going to do is erase all evidence that pencil was here after I put this liner back in its place. It does not want to go in today. Finally! And now I'm gonna use this Faber-Castell Dust Free. Wait, I didn't line it all. Yay. I think I'm actually gonna go with the 0.2 for the clouds and the sun, not the 0.8. This looks much better. This is my first time actually drawing on YouTube, if you didn't know. And now that that's all done, I'm this time actually, since everything is done, going in with this Faber-Castell eraser, like I already said, and making no traces of pencil whatsoever, except for on the shoes. Those can stay. Okay, now that we're done with that, I'm going to use the markers, not the colored pencils, after I fix the shoelaces because they got a little attacked. Looks like there's 12 with a colorless blender in here, I think. Brush and superfine tips. If I can get this thing open. Mom, a little help. Thank you. So right now, I think I'm going to start for the barn. This red that looks more like pink than red, and amber, if I can get the red out. And I think I'm going to start on the brush for red right now. These markers work really well, actually. I don't like the weird texture they leave, though, if you can see there. And for the door, I think I'm going to use amber. I haven't seen how well these blend yet, so I'm excited for that. And then now I'm going up here with the amber, and I'm going to blend that in later because I think it will look kind of cool. And then this red I'm going to be using to do the marks right here, 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 and here. And I'm doing this roof, not going to blend it with red. This will be using now for this window. That looks more gray than I expected. I think this barn is going to look pretty good when we're done for my first attempt. And now we have the blender. I think the blender is actually working really well. And then you can barely see that window right now, so I'm going to fix that. And I think we're almost done. Well, we are done with the barn, but now we have to do the person, the ground, the shoes, the sky, and the sun. The brush tips are faster, but the fine tips are more accurate. I think I'm gonna go with something with the white gel pen, but I'm not sure still. And last but not least, that did barely anything. And I think I know what I'm going to do with the white gel pen. To make it look kind of worn down on the barn, I'm gonna make some little white marks, and then his fabric could be worn with tears and stuff. And I think that's all for the drawing. Bye, friends.
Okay, now it's my turn to make something with these supplies. I'm really excited, but I have no idea what I'm gonna do. So I guess the first thing to do is just do a few thumbnail sketches and figure something out. I'm gonna be working in the sketchbook, I think, for the final piece. Casey did the Express It blending card, but I wanna try something a little bit bigger, experiment with a larger format. So I'm gonna try that. Okay, so I have sketched out a few different ideas here, just real quickly, and I'm kind of torn between these two. One is Pikachu and the other is this guy with really floofy hair, and for some reason that just sounds really fun to draw, but so does the Pikachu, so I'm not really sure which one to test out on the bigger size. This one does seem a bit more stagnant, like nothing's happening there. So maybe I'll try out this one because there's a little bit of action in it and it might be fun to play with the electricity going on here. Okay, I've redrawn the Pikachu one a little bit bigger and I'm gonna try and do a small color comp just to see what I might do with the colors because I'm not sure I have the exact colors I would need. Wanted to see what would happen if I blended that with the purple. Okay, I think the sky colors will definitely work, that's for sure. I really like the purple over the blue and how those blend. And then I can use the Uniball Signo to add some stars and everything. What I'm worried about is that the yellow we have here might be too bright of a yellow for Pikachu, so I'm wondering if I shouldn't try this pale tan and then go over that with the yellow colored pencil. So maybe I'll see what that would look like. As a alternate test, I'm gonna try putting the yellow here on this Pikachu. See if I like the color better. I'm also kind of wondering what the yellow over this flesh color does. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry and come back to it and see what I can do. Okay, it's dried a little bit, so I'm gonna take the yellow colored pencil and see what happens. Actually, that looks pretty good. I kind of prefer this yellow to this yellow. And it goes on so smooth. It's like butter. I've noticed that we don't really have any red colors. We have kind of orangish and kind of pinkish. So that's interesting. But man, these are so pigmented. I think I'm actually gonna line with the pencils because I'm liking that look. So I think that's gonna work really well. Okay, now that I know what I'm doing, I think I'm gonna go ahead and re-sketch this. Okay, after some thought, I think I am actually going to do my piece on the Express It blending card after all. And there's a couple of different reasons that I decided to do that. The first being, you can tell just by looking at this that the blending card is quite a bit whiter and brighter than the sketchbook, which I think will be really good for the lightning parts of the piece. And then the other thing is the shape of the sketchbook is a lot taller and skinnier, and I feel like the composition I've got here will work better on less of a rectangle and more of a square shape. I think it'll work out better for the composition. So I'm going to go ahead and go with this for the actual art piece. And the next thing is to look up some Pikachu references so that I can make sure I'm drawing the body correctly. So I'm kind of trying to lighten up the lines a little bit as I go because I'm gonna try and line with colored pencil, and I don't want the blue to show through too much. And I'm gonna line after I color, so that'll be new. I'm not sure I like where his back stripes are, so I'm gonna try and move those a little bit. I want him to look a little bit like he's enjoying himself a little too much here. Like he's zapping something and having a lot of fun with it. But I think his eyes are a little too close together. So let's move this over. Okay, so our base sketch is done. It was really fun. I'm excited to get it colored, and I'm not exactly sure whether I should start with the character or with the background, but I think I'm going to go ahead and start with the character because if I mess him up, then there's no point in wasting the ink on the background, right? So let's do that first. And if you remember from when I did the sketch, I really liked the colored pencil over this skin tone color, so we'll start with that. Can we just take a moment to appreciate how weird Pikachu looks in flesh tones? It's pretty weird. Okay, now we gotta wait for that to dry before we can go in with the colored pencil. So I guess while we wait for that, I will go ahead and start on the background. I just thought of a technique I'd like to try with the edges of the lightning, and it involves the blender, so I'm gonna see here if I can do it on this one. And I just want to kind of pull some of the color of the edge out so it's a little bit softer of an edge. I'm not sure if it'll work, but I thought that if it would, it might make a neat little texture to the lightning, like a glow almost. So I'm gonna let that dry and see what it does while I continue working on this background. Okay, here's where it starts to get a little tricky because I want to start incorporating the purple about halfway up, so I have to carefully make sure that I'm going to be allowing for that blend and just trying to get some feathering going on here. And then I'm going to quickly go back in with the purple so that they can hopefully blend well. Okay, all in all, I think that part worked pretty well. Now to do it on the other side. So I've noticed these nibs on the Illustrator markers are actually very soft and pliable compared to like my Studio 71 markers and the Ohuhu brush markers, which I'll be doing a video about very soon. These actually are a lot more malleable, which is nice for blending. That might be why they're so easy to blend. I'm really enjoying it. It's a little harder to get into the small areas and make sure I don't mess up. But I'm not having too much trouble, as you can see. So I would say these are more like Copics than any of the other alternatives I've tried so far, which is kind of exciting. Okay, I'm wondering if I can make this top darker a bit by adding maybe the ice gray, because I kind of want it to be a bit darker on the top. Wrong end. And I'm thinking that maybe if we blended some of this gray in, it would add to the darkness up here. So I'm going to try it. It actually doesn't seem to be adding that much dimension, so I'll just leave it at that. I do like the little bit of extra color it added though. Okay, let's take a look at this where we feathered that edge. And I'm not actually sure that I like it. It looks like it might have been a mistake. So I think I'm gonna refrain from doing that on this one. But now that this part is dry, I'm gonna go ahead and go in with my colored pencils and get some of the body colored here. And I'm just going to do light little circles. I don't want to push too hard, but I do want to have an even coverage across the whole body. And once again, I am just incredibly impressed with these colored pencils and how smooth they are. I've tried Prismacolor before, but I've never tried these Faber-Castell Polychromos colored pencils, and I'm pretty much sold. I really like them. I'm going to try and erase some of this blue that's outside the body area. I realized that the last color in the marker set was actually a dark gray, not a black. So I think that will actually work really nicely over this purple to add some more. Ooh, yeah, see, that's much better. Just to add a bit more darkness to the top. So we're gonna do that. I really, really like how these markers just kind of disappear into themselves. I have been working with some other markers that every time you add a new layer, you have to go over the whole thing again, or it'll look like not blended, basically. And I just appreciate that these don't do that. They really blend just effortlessly. It's pretty awesome. I'm liking them a lot. Some of that could actually be due to the Express It blending card too. I usually use marker paper by Strathmore, so maybe part of it's the paper. But I'm really liking how much darker this is now after the addition of that gray. It's just perfect. Okay, I think I'm gonna try with brown do his outline. Is Pikachu a girl or a boy? I've heard both. I think the ones with the heart tails are the girls, right? Okay, time to get out a liner. And I think we'll go with the 0.4 maybe. And this will be for his little eyes. Aha! I think all that's left to do is add some of the stars in the sky and maybe try to shade him a little bit and we'll be done. I don't want it to be too shaded because he's creating a lot of light around him, so I think it's only going to be like in a few places and it's not going to be very dark. Okay. Now, I don't know, but hopefully this is dry enough that I can add a few stars. All right, and with that, I think this guy is done. Well everyone, I hope you enjoyed watching our process of creating some art pieces from Jazza's Jazzy art box. We definitely had fun using the supplies. They were all just a dream to use. They're high quality supplies, you can tell when you're using them. And coming from someone who doesn't really have a lot of high quality art supplies traditionally, because I'm a digital artist mainly, I can easily tell the difference between these and the supplies that I have. So it was a treat to be able to work with them and to be able to make this video to show them off. So anyway, yeah, I hope you liked it and thank you for being here. Bye everyone.